Recently, I've been looking for a wireless mic to use at my church and with my portable audio system when I received a message from Phenyx Pro asking if I wanted to check out their product. Now, generally, I am leery of using any inexpensive wireless, mostly because it either equates to poor sound quality, poor longevity, or poor performance, or all three and then some. But after some correspondence back and forth with Phenyx Pro, I agreed to review the Phenyx Pro PTU-2U-2H True Diversity Wireless System because I love the features that I saw on the website, and the company gave me no restrictions on what I could say or do in exchange for the unit. So this video is absolutely a reflection of my opinion and the features that I value. Now grab some quality headphones, put those things on, and let's get started. Before we get started with testing, here's what came in the box. A manual, dual receiver in a 1U rack space, power cable, 4 antennas, 4 stick-on feet in case you didn't want to rack it, 1 mono cable that is male tip sleeve 1/4 inch to male tip sleeve 1/4 inch, 1 female tip sleeve 1/4 inch to male tip sleeve 1/8 inch adapter, 2 handheld cardioid mics, 2 anti-rolling rings, and 4 AA batteries. So what didn't come with it? Well, it didn't come with mic clips. So the way that you're seeing it right now, I actually had to purchase that in order to be able to use the mic without holding it. Another thing is it didn't come with rack screws. So I had to get some rack screws in order to be able to rack the unit. And then understandably, it didn't come with a way to relocate the antennas to the front of the rack, although they do sell something to be able to do that. It comes with the BNC cables. It's a whole kit. It's less than $50 and is actually one of the cheapest ways you can get it is to just purchase it from Phenyx. So that's what I did. After almost 3 decades of touring, my main gig is right here twice a week at church. And that's part of the reason why I wanted the PTU-2U-2H system, because we have wireless everywhere here. So I know that if it works here, it's going to work most places. And I really like that this is a true diversity wireless system, giving a more stable interference-free transmission. I also love that it has 2 separate channels of wireless that can be run at the same time and only take up a 1U rack space. And worth mentioning, cell phones and digital wireless generally don't cause problems with UHF wireless systems, but at the same time, poorly shielded and poorly constructed UHF wireless systems will have issues with cell phones and digital wireless. So if I'm going to test this thing, this is a good place.
Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. Be afraid, because I know that you love me. Who brings our chaos back into order? Who makes the earth sing like never before? Oh, my soul.
And the results were great with no dropouts, even with the receiver being housed inside a bricked-in closet. The sound engineers said that the mic sounded much warmer in comparison to the Shure SM58 that I usually end up using. Now that said, the frequency that I used during rehearsal time, I ended up having to change during worship time because there was this intermittent ticking sound that you could barely end up hearing just when I wasn't singing. So because of that, we did a quick rescan and within seconds, ready to go again. Here's some specs that I think are worth mentioning. The first one is that it is a true diversity unit, which means that it has 2 antennas that constantly are picking the best signal in order to reduce dropouts and interference. This system will also give you 328 feet of freedom in an open area. Each channel, and remember there are 2 of them, will give you 1,000 selectable UHF frequencies, which lets you tune to the cleanest channel and avoid the radio interference even with multiple systems running. There's also an auto scan feature, which at the click of a button will allow you to scan the room and find the best frequency for that environment. And then you can sync through infrared, and if you have trust issues, you can lock the controls. Now, worth mentioning, that sync function through the IR, you just press the button, hold the mic up to it, and it syncs in like 2 seconds. It is super fast. Squelch is a welcome setting because nobody loves the static sound that can occur when a UHF mic drops its signal. For those that don't know what squelch is, I like to think of squelch as being a noise gate for radio signals, but instead of listening for sound, it's listening for signal strength. So if the signal strength isn't enough or it's too weak, essentially it'll just mute and it won't allow for that static sound to end up going through your sound system. I also like that the transmitters are dynamic cardioid mics, which allow for a nice, clear, warm sound at a frequency response of 50 Hz to 18 kHz. I also love that the transmitter has the battery level, the audio frequency strength, the radio frequency strength, the group and the channel, and whether or not it's muted. Same can be said about the receiver in that it'll tell you the radio frequency strength, the audio frequency strength, whether or not it's muted, the current frequency band, the group, the channel, whether it's in lock mode. And actually on the outside, it has a dial to be able to change the gain level that gets sent to the board. Now, with that said, there is no way to change the input level that comes from the transmitter. So it is possible that you could have some clipping or some distortion that you can't fix back at the board. And finally, as for the build quality, both the transmitter and the receiver are all metal construction, and they both have a very clear LCD display. All right, you will have noticed that I have changed the position of the mic. So I had it about 5 inches away from me, and the reason why was because I didn't want a ton of plosives to be happening. So right now, we're checking for plosives, having it really close to me. Second thing we're checking is proximity effect. Now, proximity effect is one to where I'm up to the mic and I'm maybe getting more bass response. So wanted to check that. The last test that we're doing right now is the rejection test. We're going to do a 360 spin and we're going to find out how well it rejects outside noise. So right now I have it right at me the way that it's supposed to be. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this to 90. So I have not necessarily changed my position. It's just the microphone that's changed its position. And what that should sound like is me being more distant. I'm farther away, and that's good. We want good rejection. Let's do 180. Now at 180 degrees, it should still sound distant. I would suspect that there is more rejection, although it may be pretty close to the same. Now here I am at 270. I always think this one's interesting to check because it should be the same as 90 degrees, but maybe it's just to remind you of what the last one was. And finally, here I am back at 0 degrees doing the exact same thing as I was doing before, pointing right at me. One more test that's worth doing is a handling test. So I'm going to take this thing off and this is what it sounds like as I'm handling the microphone. Of course, I don't just toss it between my hands whenever I'm rocking the mic. A lot of times when I'm holding the mic, I'm singing and I'm holding it here, and then that's really where it stays. Maybe I'm moving my hands around a little bit, and maybe I will switch hands and then just go to another one and sing and move it. All right, last test on that one. So who is this system for? Well, I believe this is a budget-friendly option for any live venue that already has crowded wireless. Also, it's great for a house of worship that has a budget and it's really tight. Another one might be for that DJ or MC who needs a mic themselves, but also needs to be able to hand out a mic, and they fear about giving really expensive wireless to somebody who might do the mic drop. Another one might be a place that is doing a presentation in like a medium to a large sized room or auditorium. And then another would be, of course, any karaoke night, period. They all need this. Well, with all that said, that is all the time we have for the Tweed Couch Guitar YouTube channel. If you like what I do, make sure you hit like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the podcast, the affiliate links down below. And remember that you are your greatest asset. Until next time.